Hey everybody, while I have just a couple minutes, I thought I would make a video here and try to answer or give an explanation maybe for some questions that all have to do pretty much with the same subject, and that is, did you undergo some sort of transformation while in the Great Pyramid? Was it some sort of spiritual tuner? And I think that is an excellent question. I made a video quite a long time ago when I had not nearly as many subs where I talked about the brain crystal of magnetite, that everybody just has millions and millions and millions of these in their brain, and they are extremely tiny, and I will leave a few links below. But it seems to be what like birds use for migration purposes and animals and different things used for like a magnetic tuning into the earth. Now, the Great Pyramid, I have read where strange things happen inside of pyramids, where there are special healing properties and stuff like that. And I really haven't researched that too much, but I know I have come across that information. So if you have any special pyramid power, special powers that pyramids have in healing or even in plant growth and stuff like that, please leave it below. And this is going to be kind of an open forum video. But the magnetite in the Great Pyramid, I just think that's very interesting. There are a lot of things about the Great Pyramid I find absolutely fascinating. The temperature inside of the Great Pyramid is the precise median temperature across the whole Earth. How in the world did they do that? Or is that just the most amazing coincidence ever? There are many things that we do not understand about the Great Pyramid, and I thoroughly believe it could have been multifunctional. I've had questions if this was a power plant. And since we really don't know, I don't disregard that. And there is no inscriptions or no art or anything, period, inside the Great Pyramid. And if it was kind of a power plant, you wouldn't put art or stuff like that inside of something that had a mechanical purpose. And I believe the just unthinkable man-hours it took to build this, it probably had some sort of function that, you know, the civilization needed. Kind of like a dam would today, or something like that, you know, a power plant. I don't disregard that at all. And if you have links for that, please leave it below. But was it some sort of tuner for your mind? Well, I made this video about the magnetite crystals in your brain, and I just want to read just briefly here. It says, the pineal gland, which is located roughly at the center of your head, has an abundance of magnetite crystals. This glandular structure is believed to be the receiving point of the higher mind and has been revered in subtle ways throughout history. And in another article it says the pyramidal cells act as electrical crystal cells immersed in an extracellular tissue fluids and seem to operate in the fashion of a liquid crystal oscillator in response to different commands or light pulses, which in turn change the orientation of every molecule and atom within the body. And I find that absolutely fascinating. Did the ancients, in their incredible knowledge, know how a pyramid, and with all the granite and stuff in the king's chamber, did they know something about the human mind that we are just starting to find out about in the last 20 years? I find that entirely possible. And let me just go on to the conclusion here. And he kind of talks about how the mind is just a microcosm for the universe. It says, in conclusion, what I'd like to say is the same thing that created the universe created you. You are intimately connected to that force of creation by the crystalline content in your brain, which is the point where the light that enters your field is transmitted to your body. In a sense, each of us is a mini universe, as above, so below. Now, did the ancients know something about what kind of transformation your mind and how specifically it affects the pineal gland? Did they know about this in regards to the Great Pyramid? Well, you have ancient cultures with depiction of the pineal glands and pine cones, obviously fixated on the center of your mind, so they obviously knew and revered the pineal gland. And today we disregard anything mystic or magical or any kind of extra function the brain has as kind of hocus pocus. But the ancients didn't think it was hocus pocus. I believe that it is entirely possible that the Great Pyramid and its effect on you, it was some sort of spiritual tuner. And you have the stories. Even Graham Hancock does talk about the weird transformation you talk about when it's all quiet and you can just kind of, you know, meditate and tune into your mind. He says it's a pretty amazing transformation. And even Napoleon, who spent the night in the Great Pyramid, some of you might know the story, but he basically freaked out and said he'll never talk about it. Was the Great Pyramid a big tuner for your mind? Well, I'm going to be talking about the symbolism of the Great Pyramid and how it regards to the ancient shrine that we know as the Sphinx today on the Giza Plateau very soon. I think this is a pretty good intro for that video. Hope you thought this was interesting, and you all have a very nice day.